Well, yes, it was surprising in a way, but he was even though inflation rates are very high, he had a program. It was we could say a real political program, and who knows what drives the voting patterns in people. But maybe the primaries were an opportunity for people to express frustration and anger with no cost, because it only was a primary. And now we were choosing the next president, and all those violent manifestations, the chainsaw in the rallies and different ideas they were showing. Also, there were contradictions. They were saying we're going to dollarize the economy, and then another person of the same campaign would say, well, no, that's not exactly that. That he said some awful things about the Pope. And then another person said, well, no, we respect the Catholic community. So it was not consistent. That message was not enough.
Well, the two now have to face off in a second round on November the 19th. What are the potential outcomes following this?
Well, that's a big question mark, because there's thirds that were in dispute. So this third that we are asking ourselves, what is it going to be doing? A part of that is rightist vote, and that probably will go to Milei. The question is how much of that. It's a coalition, the one that was beaten, and it's formed with more rightist people and another very traditional party called the Unión Cívica Radical, and those are probably not going to vote for an anti-democratic proposal. Then there's governors in the provinces that need to take care. So it's a big answer, but there are chances. Today, Milei's been doing different declarations, and he's asking for the forces of God and for biblical figures. So maybe we are attending to his disappointment, and he knowing that he's not going to be able to grow.
Well, should Milei be successful, what would a victory, even a small victory, mean for the country politically and economically?
Another huge question, because he's only been a candidate for 4 years. He's became, the first time in his life, a congressman in 2021. So it's all open. We don't see many people in his campaign or in his arounds, more than 10, 15 people with no political experience. So everything can happen. Maybe he's going to be backed up by huge corporation groups, and probably they're going to staff his group. So everything is possible if he won.
And under Massa, what changes has he promised to address the tough economic situation the country's facing at the moment?
Well, one big issue is the loan with the IMF that imposes strong restrictions. And so he's mentioned that is going to be rediscussed. And he is calling for a national unity government. So it probably would be a lot moderate, a lot more centered, and that would probably bring some tensions with the more center-left faction. But there's a need to stabilize and to work on the inflation problems, the currency problem, the current exchange problem, the IMF. So it will be necessary to broaden up the alliance.
And just finally, Professor, what outcome do you think regional leaders will be hoping for?
Well, that depends which regional leaders. Brazil is our main and best regional leader, and it's a center-left alliance, and they have supported Massa a lot, although Bolsonaro's, the former president, is a very good friends with Milei. The same for Chile, where Boric governs. So probably those two countries will hope for a Massa's victory.
Well, we'll be watching closely. Professor Valeria Brusco in Córdoba, thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.